working in the studio since 2009. It was a dilapidated building. There were no staircases. The whole thing was just a complete wreck. I spread over a few floors here, and the top floor, which I can shoot some films and photograph on, the floor below my editing suite, and then the floor below is where the darkroom and all the digital printing facilities are. Although I'm multitasking most of the time, it's a place that I kind of see it as my oasis. My main focus is photography and film, predominantly photography. Film became later an extension to my practice. The relationship between the two are sort of complementary, or one medium can compensate for restriction or limitation in the other. So I see the two working in some sort of symbiotic relationship. Throughout my work, there is an element that I'm trying to explore, and it is very much to do with the relationship between the camera, the way photography is recording the world, turning moments that are unattainable into tangible experiences, and how they are affecting our relationship with the world, our understanding of truth, our understanding of history, or our perception of reality. My work is often connected to painting, which is a very visceral medium. The Still Life series was formerly an antithesis to white noise in some of the earlier landscape work that I produced, although I see them very closely related. Many of my landscape photographs were taken over a long period of time, so there is this long exposure where the image seems to somehow melt down and almost disappear, where in the Still Life, the images are more concrete and the exposure is very, very short. But nevertheless, those short exposure also capturing something happening at 10,000th of a second that is impossible for the naked eye or our brain to process. So these moments are also sort of metaphysical moments that are ephemeral too, moments that only exist because the technology allowing them to turn into visual, tangible moments. The Still Life are coming very much from art history into the contemporary world that we live in today. The exploding image is emerging from kind of personal experiences, and you think about suicide bomber, we think about this kind of very brutal, almost gruesome media that I'm trying to turn into visually very appealing and seductive moments. I'm coming from a place, I was brought up in Israel, where there are so many conflicting views and so many possible historical narratives that are colliding with one another. Photography is a medium that's very much associated with an evidence, with absolute truth, and yet with all my work, what we see in the print or on the screen are about moment that truth is being questioned. I'm very much interested about the materiality and the abstraction in the way images are being conceived and created. Where you move into the digital, everything turns into pure abstraction. I see analog photography as a go-between, and you can understand all the process and it all happen on a physical piece of celluloid. I keep my darkroom for color and black and white printing, not for sentimental reason. There are certain things that the digital cannot do, and it depends on the work that I'm trying to pursue. I combine, but the digital becomes more and more dominant. In my recent trip, I acquired this new medium format digital camera, and I ended up making a lot of the work with it. The printing takes a very significant part of any work that I produce. The subtlety of colors and tonality is so crucial that I end up spending months and months, so this is quite intense. I come to the studio after dropping the kids at school, and after a cup of coffee, after a few hours, I kind of lose my orientation and sense of time, and everything starts to fall into place. During those hours of very kind of intense focus, I find my purpose, and I have to say my inner happiness too, which is a phenomenal privilege.